Attorneys in the Michael King case were back in court today. We learned today the defense attorneys for Michael King will tell jurors that King suffered a head injury in a sledding accident when he was a child. That's part of the case they'll present this week in an attempt to get jurors to recommend not death, but a life sentence for King, who was convicted last week of kidnapping, raping, and murdering 21-year-old Denise Lee. Attorneys poured over victim impact statements from the family of Denise Lee, part of preparations for what the jury will get to hear and take into consideration as they weigh death or life in prison for Michael King.
I certainly have a strong objection to a lesson no father should ever have to teach his children. The most tragic part is knowing the boys will not have memories of their mommy, and that will haunt me forever. That's clearly not appropriate.
In addition to victim impact statements, attorneys also discussed witnesses who will testify in the penalty phase.
As it stands, I do not intend on calling any witnesses outside of what's already been in the guilt phase, other than victim impact in my presentation, and then potentially Dr. Gamache if Dr. Visser and Dr. Wu testify, depending on how things go today.
We are presenting Dr. Wu, who did the PET scan, and he will talk about the brain injury and the PET scan, but he did not evaluate Mr. King or discuss the facts of the case.
Dr. Wu is expected to say a head injury King suffered in a sledding accident when he was 6 years old left him with a reduced IQ. King's family members are expected to appear via video conference, and Lee's husband and father are set to read statements in court. The jury will make a recommendation of either the death penalty or life in prison, but the judge will ultimately sentence King, and that is expected to happen sometime this week.